Is the mic on? Is the mic on? Is the mic on? What's wrong with Orny Adams? Episode 162. The washing machine repair guy was just here. Can't be repaired. Need a new washer. Tragedy has struck once again. And the worst part is I've got built-in cabinets that now need to be taken out, and I need shorter ones because washers and dryers are now higher than they were when this one was bought. They can't just keep everything the same. Car brakes needed to be replaced all of a sudden. Tragedy hit the car. That's the first major repair on my car. We'll get into that in a minute. 2 hoses broke for the outdoor. I'm not rough on hoses. They don't make hoses like they used to. I don't know if China's rebelling and sending us shittier hoses now. And my printer broke. I'll tell all these stories and a lot more, but they say things come in 3, and that's 4. So am I going to 6 now? Am I going to 9? What's going to happen to Orny Adams? Episode 162 starts at the other side of this song, as they say in the news. We're going to play a clip, and then we'll discuss it on the other side. They love to say that. Little friends. Friends. I've lost my mind. What's his name, Kev? Getting other buttons. Hey, I'm bringing that way down. Hey, it's Orny Adams, and I just want to say this. Because this is the most stressful I think I can remember in modern life for me. I'm about to shoot my 4th comedy special. I'm excited about that. But the details are unbelievable. I want this music to stop. It's bothering me right now. I don't even have my headsets on. I'm wearing a t-shirt and looking in the monitor. I'm dressed like a magician today or something. I don't know what. I always look for something different to wear, because I'm seen in so many different outfits. I'm photographed every night, so I'm always looking for something different. Well, today on the podcast, I'm a magician. So I'm going to make some magic happen. It stopped. Okay, I want to be serious for a moment, because I've never been more stressed in my life. I'm not sleeping. I slept about 6 total hours over the weekend. My mouth isn't even working anymore. 6 total hours over the weekend in Las Vegas. Shows at Kimmel's Comedy Club. Thank you to everybody that came. That club makes me work a lot harder, but it makes me a better comedian. And I wake up every day after the shows. Not every day. I get there Friday. I do 2 shows. Saturday, I wake up. I go to Hash House A Go-Go, and I sit at the counter, and I write. And I get so much done. I don't know why. It's absolute mayhem and chaos around me. People drinking alcohol at 8 a.m. That type of mayhem. It's loud, but for some reason, I get stuff done there. So I just want to, before I really get into what's going on in my life, my personal life, how I feel, I want to thank the Patreon subscribers, because I feel most indebted to you. So when I don't do a podcast, I think, I've got to get one out for the Patreon people, because they're paying. Everybody else is getting it for free on audio, or they're watching it 6 weeks later on YouTube. But the Patreon people, I feel indebted to. So I'm asking you guys to forgive me a little bit, because right now I'm under so much stress preparing for my comedy special taping October 18th at the El Portal Theater in North Hollywood. Now, most people probably just show up and shoot a special. They work out the routine. I'm involved in every aspect of this. What color my shoelaces are. I've ordered no less than 15 jackets. Let me say that again. 15 jackets. 2 more arriving on Thursday. And I buy, it's not only 15, but 3 of each of them. I mean, I have, in my guest bedroom, I have mountains of clothes that need to go back, because I'm trying to figure out what will make me feel the best on stage. I like to wear a t-shirt because I move around a lot, but I also want to look good. And there's a theme to this special. There's a theme to the lighting. There's a theme to colors. And you'll understand all this when you see it. And this involves like arts and crafts. Like I'm having stuff being made. I'm doing this, I've got a team. I've got producers, I've got directors of photography. But when it comes down to it, when something has to be done, I feel like it comes on me. Even though I'm getting a lot of help, I like stuff done weeks in advance. I want it done. I want it off the list. When I book a gig out of town, I book the flight right away. I'm gonna have to do it, so let's do it now. There's no procrastinating. Every detail, right down to my hair, the hair design, Luke designing my hair, how many days out to get it cut, everything. I bought jackets and had it modified with special buttons. I mean, it's stupid of me to be putting this much into it. I should be with the boards I've got one of those flip charts, and I've written the entire routine out several times, and I'm, memorizing, I'm committing, I'm taking chunks, moving it here, moving it there. It hasn't settled yet. I think will come together the day of the shoot. I've got 2 shows, and most stressful is selling tickets. I don't know why it isn't sold out. I don't get. If I was a comedy fan, this is where I'd want to be, to see a comic shooting a special. So I've sold a lot of tickets, but I need it sold out the week before so I don't have to worry. And then, you know what a thought I had the other day? And my dad had the same thought, but it took me a couple of days later for it to resonate. I'm just going to shoot it with whoever shows up. I do shows when it's not sold out. I've done small rooms. I've done local shows where the promoter or the club didn't fill the room, and I do great. I can connect with small crowds. I'm made for small crowds. You want a guy that will put a small crowd in your club? I'm the man. I was talking to Eliza last night, who I find is not only a friend, but very supportive and somebody I can relate to. We were talking about ticket sales. I'm envious of people that can just post and sell. I don't think you understand. I'm posting every day. I've spent a lot of money on ads. I question whether those are effective. In fact, I spent so much, American Express shut down my card. The card, I got a call from I got a text, email, and call from the fraud department. Hey, are you spending all this money on meta ads? You've never done this. And I'm like, unfortunately, I am. I hired a team of advertisers, a company that advertises specifically for comedians. They train the algorithm. I don't know what they do. I just want it to work. They've got this formula. And I want to spend money. I want to spend money on ads and see it come back. Then I'm doing this. This gives me great sadness. I'm sitting outside of every show, if I don't have to go to another show, and I'm handing out flyers like a 20-year-old kid, for the special. And I did a show, remember, the other at the Improv. I closed it. Couldn't have gone any better. And I said, hey, I'll be on the pavement afterwards if you want to find me, and I'd be happy to. I have flyers with a QR code for my special. People lined up. I thought, I'm going to go to the parking lot now, and I'm going to sit there and watch the ticket sales come in. And one person bought tickets. It's like, the next day. I'll be on Sunday. Nope. I don't know what it takes. And if people are waiting for the last minute to get tickets, they're thinking, that doesn't help me. If you want to help me, if you're a fan of my comedy and want to make my life easier, please buy tickets now. Don't wait. This isn't like the Comedy Magic Club where the week before I'm at 50% sold and by showtime, 100% sold out. We can't risk that. We're shooting something. If you're planning on going, please buy a ticket. And this is the last I'm asking of anybody for anything. After this, I'm done. I'll be in Costa Rica with my whistle, I'll be there. And, not that it's anybody's business or concern, but I have chosen to pay for this special myself. I'm producing it. I've hired everybody, and I'm spending a lot more than I would like to, that I anticipated, that I felt like was presented to me early on. It's like a construction project. It's like a renovation on the home. Just more things. Oh, don't forget about this. Don't forget. Oh, we've got to get insurance. We've got to pay for this and this. And so it makes me anxious. And some people, in fact, like Rachel, who's a Patreon subscriber and a listener of this podcast, donated money. I mean, it's right. You can go on the GoFundMe, and she donated $1,000. Thank you. And I appreciate that. You know, for the people that have seen me on YouTube, the 7 million plus people that have seen that one special, not to mention the other special, that's 8 million. I mean, 10 million people have watched my content on YouTube, even more on TikTok, Instagram, for free. Everybody wants everything for free. I've got adults coming up to me asking for comp tickets to my special, and I hope it doesn't come to that. I look at people and I say, how old are you? You can't buy a ticket and support me? You know, Ronnie, who's the door person at the Las Vegas Kimmels, she's coming. I said, I'll put tickets aside for you. She said, no, I want to support you. The president of the Laugh Factory bought tickets. Could have asked for comps. Listen, if you can't afford it, please send me a message. I'll be happy to help you out. But I'm trying to recoup some of this. Also, if I look out and I know everybody paid for a ticket in my audience, I feel better about myself. They feel more invested. Tickets are $30. That's where my head's at. So every day I'm involved with, okay, here's another one. I've now ordered 3 different brands of mic stands. That's right, everybody. 3 different brands of mic stands, because I want to have the perfect mic stand for this special, so I feel comfortable. I've ordered sets of chairs, stools, everything. I'm testing everything out. I've never done this before for a special. I don't know what I was thinking in the past. I just showed up, and I hope the mic stand was good. There was also somebody overseeing all this stuff. There was like an executive producer, and we chose not to do that, which hopefully it doesn't turn out to be a mistake, but it's a lot more for me. And it will cost me, in the end, more than a luxury car. Like a really good luxury car. I'm investing in myself. And, you know, one comic has pledged a considerable donation. And I actually like when somebody just gives like $10. Cause I'm like, wow, that's kind of cool. Like they want to support. But a luxury car, I could say, you know what? Screw this special. I'm just going to buy myself a new car. Because I drive, I don't know if I've ever told you this. Orny Adams, who talks about his house and his washing machine that needs to be repaired, his hoses. I have a great place. I have a great place, and I put so much value in my home. You know what I don't put value in? The car. And I live in LA, which is such a dumb culture that values car. You know what? I go home to Boston, and people just have cars. They don't talk about their cars. They don't keep them perfect. It's a car. Gets you from A to B to C, back to A. That's what a car is supposed to do. Out here, they're judging you. And I drive, I don't know how this happened. All of a sudden, I drive a 2013 Honda Accord. V6, I'll let you know, the sporty coupé one, little top of the line, but it's a 2013. I don't know how I never got another car. Well, it never broke down until this week. And all of a sudden it was making this screeching sound. You couldn't even drive it. It sounded like metal on metal. And a piece of the thing that holds the brake shoe in, the metal had come out and was scraping again. It was embarrassing. So I had to get that repaired. And now, usually when I need the first repair, I just buy a new car. I'm just going to buy a new car. It's easier than... But this car's, what is this, 12 years old? 44,000 miles on it. And sometimes I'm a little embarrassed when I pull up to places in Los Angeles. And that's my own insecurity. That's ridiculous. I should have the guts to say, you know what? I could drive any car I want, but this is what I'm choosing to drive. But they judge you. You know, I go out to eat, I go to people's homes, and there's all these famous people, and I see the pecking order of how people are treated. I see where I'm treated. I see it in the comedy community. Do you know the Improv in Los Angeles walks certain comics to their car? Not me. Nobody's offered that to me. Nobody's concerned about Orny Adams' safety. And I'm like, well, thank God, because I don't want them to know I drive a 2013 Honda Accord. Can you imagine that? Like, they're like, the manager's like,
yeah, can we get an escort for Orny Adams? He's in the parking lot. If we could escort him for safety reasons to the club, please. Yeah, I'm out here in the parking lot. It's just a Honda Accord. Yeah, Orny drives a Honda. Yeah, this is like an old Honda, like a 2012, 20, I can't tell by the trim. It's yeah, that's Orny. Yeah, Orny drives a 2013 Honda Accord. Yeah. Why are we escorting somebody that drives a Honda into the club? What's up with that? Yeah, okay.
It's like when you're in Uber X, you have them drop you off down the street type of thing. Anyway, nobody cares about my safety, and I'm wearing a magician shirt. Be nice if they offered to me. What I think is funny is that these people that they're walking, they live regular lives. They go out during the day. They don't need escorts. You know, comics were pretty chill. We're pretty much just people. I know some people have stalkers. I've had we're going to order now. Orny's coming in. Yeah. Okay. Please, I want to call me, you guys. Yeah, it doesn't appear there's anybody here to stalk Orny. Nobody cares to photograph him. Let's reconsider the policy to walk Orny to his car and from his car to the club. This doesn't seem necessary. Yeah. Nobody's here. Nobody's stalking him. Oh, I think it's just so funny how, because I know people, I know they're people. And there's so much tiptoeing going around. Nobody tiptoes around Orny Adams. Nobody. Nobody. Just checking back. Were there any incidents with getting Orny into the club? No, there's nobody cared. Nobody. Yeah. I think two people here are waiting for Orny Adams, but they're confused why he's coming out of a 2013 Honda Accord. Okay, yeah. You know what I do? I get out the passenger side so it looks like my assistant's driving me. That's what I do. Anyway, that's where Los Angeles puts its values. Not in me. Not in me. Figured out what bothers me about tipping so much. It's like every meal has to end in math. Like I have to do a math equation now. Drives me nuts. The other thing is, I'm tired of this. Put this up on What's Wrong with Orny Adams. And I want to know what you think about this. I notice a lot of people assume that I'm to pay the tab when we go out to eat now. I don't know why. All of a sudden, I'm the guy that pays for everything. But I also notice they never say thank you. A lot of people don't say thank you. Now, is it because they're embarrassed that I'm paying? Is it because, are they presumptuous? Like, oh, he has money. He can afford it. Like, is it resentment? What? You tell me. Email me at what'swrong@ornyadams.com and let me know what is that? Why don't people thank when I pay? I pay for people's gas when they drive me. Not even a thank you. Hey, thanks. Appreciate that. That's really cool. Nothing. And I notice a lot of the times I'll pay for the meal. The first time the person's like, oh, can I give? And then the next time they don't even go for it. Sometimes I let the check just sit there. I just sit back. I go, let's see how this plays out. Anyway, I grew up in a family where you thanked profusely. Like, hey, thanks again. Thanks again. I would text later, hey, thanks again. Thanks again for lunch. I really appreciate it. In fact, I offer to pay. I'm going out for dinner with a really wealthy person. And the person first said, let's go out for lunch. And then he said, okay, you know what? Why not dinner? So I wrote back, if we go out to lunch, I'll pay. Dinner, you pay. He said, great, let's do dinner. And I'll still offer to pay. And some of the most famous people I've ever dined with, I picked up the tab. Because they're so used to people just thinking, oh, they're going to pay. So let me show them how human I consider them. Oh, I should talk about this before I complain about everything else. I went to a place down the street, and let me be an example of good behavior and how good behavior can positively probably affect the world and have a ripple effect. In fact, this one act that I did may save the world. I went to a place that I go to quite frequently, and I order food to go. I call it in from the gym, and then I go pick it up. And they don't ask for a credit card or anything, and you go and you pay. Well, they know me so well there that the chef just came out and handed me the bag. In fact, calls me coach, knows me from Team Wolf. Hey, here you go, coach. And I said, thanks. And I was talking to the owner, and I said, hey, can I get some extra of this? And that he gave it to me. And then I left, and I'm driving home, and I'm thinking, I don't think I paid. I don't remember paying. Did I pay? And they're so busy. There's no way at the end of the day when they look and they oh, wait, somebody didn't pay for their Greek salad with chicken. I bet it was the coach from Teen Wolf. So you know what I did? I got home. I called them and I said, I don't think I paid for my order. And the owner said, really? I said, yeah. I said, I'm going to come in on Wednesday and I'll pay you for it. And he said, you got to be kidding me. Nobody would ever be this honest. I said, I'm this honest. And he goes, I'm smiling. And I thought, I just made that person's day and I did the right thing. So I feel good. And that person will now have a little more faith in humanity. Probably shouldn't. I mean, let's be honest. World's gone to shit. But, if I can do a little bit of that, and I feel like if everybody did the right thing, which we don't do, most people don't do. Most people are pricks. But one little thing like that, one little act affects that person's mood and attitude towards people. And it was worth it to me because in my head, I thought forget it, screw them. They don't have a system. And then I thought, no. It's a mom and pop place. And I'm to do the right thing. This isn't, and I'm the better person for doing this. And it'll come back to me somehow. And by that I mean my washer will break, and my hoses, and my car will break down, and my printer. Yeah, I got a new printer after 15 years. Printer's probably the same age as the car. I've had it forever. I love it. I always thought I'm never going to replace this because it's a workhorse. It's dependent. It always works. To the point where I always keep an extra batch of the ink cartridges, which cost about $140 on these HP printers. Well, much like the washing machine, the other day I'm printing and I hear, oh, what's that? Is there a jam? It says paper jam, but there's no paper jam. I reboot it. I do this. I do that. I go on YouTube. I Google. I try and fix it this way. I disconnect something. Anyway, turns out it's dead. It's done. And it's time. So now I have to go online and read reviews. Oh, yeah, this is what's going to happen with the washing machine. Going to be a lot of review reading. And I'm tired of it. My parents had the same washing machine for like 30 years. I think they had it when I was in high school. It got your clothes so clean, and that just broke. My thing's about 10 years old. They're making shit now. So, where was I? If somebody could remind my ailing brain from the stress of having to organize a special and be involved in every detail right down to the color of my shoelaces when I really should just be thinking about my act. If somebody could remind me where I was. Oh, so I figure out which is the best HP. You better believe I'm supporting HP. That thing lasted so long. So I drive 20 minutes to a Staples. I talk to the guy. No one in the store. Can't find anybody. I did like stalk the floor trying to find somebody. Talk to the guy about printers. The guy's manager, been there forever. There's one printer left. And I said to the guy, I'm going to buy it. I said, here's the tragedy. I have all the replacement ink cartridges for this. And no new one takes that. He goes, no, it's all like tankless now or whatever. So I said, well, do you want them? Or should I donate them to a school? And he said, I'll give you store credit for them. Did you buy them here? I go, yeah, I got the receipt. But I bought them in January 2024. It's now September 2025. He said, are they expired? I said, I think. So I said, okay, I'm gonna go home and get them. This is for $140. I'll drive another 20 minutes. Plus, I'd rather just get them out of my hand. And then I don't feel like such an idiot for being a person prepared. My apocalypse is the printer running out of ink. I'm prepared for that sort of stuff. I'll have an extra jar of peanut butter. Just I don't like to run out of things. So in a sense, it's a mini hoard there. So I run back, but there's only one printer left in the store, and I'm thinking, okay, the guy put it behind the counter, but I'm also thinking, what if somebody buys it online for pickup in an hour? And then I thought, Orny, just relax. You got enough to worry about. Save your brain for when your washer and dryer breaks or washer breaks next week. So I go home, I find the cartridges, I get the receipt, and I also noticed on the receipt that it was like I used some sort of store credit to buy those cartridges. Like I think I had recycled or I got 50% back in rewards. Everything's, yeah. The thing is, like, you got to be on top of their deals. And I get exhausted by it, and that's where this story is going. I bring back the cartridges. I bring back 3 used cartridges, which I will get $2.50 for each. That's a $7.50 credit that I can use on a future purchase, not on this printer. I give the guy the cartridges. He's like, "Do you have the receipt?" I'm like, I don't know if I have the receipt. I said, you said you'd be able to do it. Oh, and when I hand him the cartridges, he goes, "Let's see what we can do." I'm like, "Let's see what we can do. You said you were going to give me a credit." And he wanted the receipt. I said, "Isn't it attached to my account?" I didn't want him to see that it was January 2024, that it had been a year and a half. So anyway, I finally give him the receipt, and he gives me credit. Not only does he give me credit, I paid $140. He gave me a credit for what they're being sold for now. Thank you, tariffs. I got a $200 credit towards the new printer on top of $30 off. So now I'm paying almost nothing. So then the guy said, "Oh, do you want the 3-year warranty?" I said, "You know what? For you, I'm going to do it because you were nice enough to give me that credit." Anyway, I felt like such a victory. I was so happy. I called my parents and said, "Hey, that printer, I was worried about all the extra cartridges I had and what a shame it was and what a waste. The store took it back. They gave me a credit and stuff." And I'm celebrating in my head, but I'm not allowed to have 100% happiness or victory ever. Most victories in life are never 100%. There's always a little contingency. Stock market, way up today, but my one position's way down. Like there's never full victory in life. Never. I'm talking to my parents and I thought, wait a minute. There were 4 cartridges inside of the old printer. Oh, that was the thing. If you bring in your old printer, you get a $30 credit. Well, I didn't take the old cartridges out of there. I could have recycled those and gotten another $10. It's store credit. And I know this sounds insane, especially when I'm spending what amounts to a luxury car on my special. But this is the way my brain works. And I'm obsessed. I'm like, should I go back? I'm like still outside. And I thought, no, this guy's going to think I'm crazy. Then I thought, maybe I'll go inside and go, hey, just so you know, there's 4 cartridges in there. So if you want to recycle them for yourself, wink, wink. And then he would say, oh, no. Let's give it to you. So I let it go, but it bothered me for a good few hours into the night. And I knew it was going to end. I knew like within a day or two, like right now, I don't care anymore. If I told it that day, I would have been obsessed. But that's a good what's wrong with Orny Adams, where probably what's wrong is Orny Adams, right? You'd agree with that. Here are some songs that suck more than we built this city by Starship. Paul McCartney, I got my mind set on you. Now, why don't we hold him to the same standards as Starship? I got my mind set on you. I got my mind set on you. How about thank you very much, oh, Mr. Roboto? Kung Fu fighting in every song by Kiss. Here's something that's got to stop. Dirty mop bucket water. Do you people understand when it looks like a mud bath and you're putting the mop in there and you're going like this? All you're doing is taking the dirt from over here and putting it over here. You're just redistributing it. So what's the objective? So the boss on the camera can see it's a wet floor? Clean your mop buckets. Dirty mop buckets. When I go into a building or a public place and I see, I want to say, what? Look at this. Empty it. You're defeating the entire purpose. And I'd like AI to come up with a solution for that. A mop bucket that replenishes itself with fresh water. And I own the rights to that if anybody thinks they're going to steal that. In a case of moving on, be careful what you wish for. Sometimes you love something and it doesn't love you back. You know, when I was training to be a lifeguard, a little fact, a lot of you probably don't know, they told us never jump into the water to save a drowning person because they will be so disoriented that they may actually pull you down. You go to save somebody and they kill you. And so that's an example of this. When something that you love, that you fought to save, is actually hurting you. And I'm not talking about a woman. I'm talking about my bamboo. On earlier podcasts, you know that I was fighting to save my bamboo from some tragic blossoming sort of phenomenon. And maybe I hadn't watered it enough. Well, I saved it. I fertilized it. It's growing. And I was at the dermatologist and I have these like nicks on my leg and my arm. You'll see it on the special. I'm allergic to bamboo. There's a good possibility what I fought to save is now killing me. I notice when the bamboo is wet and it touches me, it stings. So I've got like on my legs, I look like a crazy. I look like I've been running through a jungle. I'm gonna have to get makeup on my forearms for when I take my jacket off. But that's sort of a lesson. That's sort of a lesson. People out there, be careful. Be careful of what you love. I notice, moving on, ChatGPT. I must be like exceptional at it because every single time I ask ChatGPT a question, it always says, that's a great question. Okay, I don't want to brag, but I'm really good at ChatGPT. Moving on. That's what I'm going to start saying. Moving on. Here's another little thing I do for the world besides return chicken that I didn't pay for, chicken salad. I'm now leaving a little extra money in the meters, the parking meters. I used to be the guy that would drive up and be thrilled if I saw the blinking green. I'm like, wow, somebody actually put extra money in there and I can use it. Now, I want other people to feel that good. So I'm now, yes, everybody, putting in extra money for the next person. I'm paying it forward. And I expect no thank you. I don't. Okay, this is how I choose to spend my money. Okay, everybody that thinks they're inheriting everything, a lot of it's going into parking meters for strangers. What does this mean? Guy on phone benefit. What does that mean? Huh. I sometimes notes to myself, what could that mean? Guy on phone benefit. When was a guy on a phone? And it was after guy on phone benefit. Huh. Well, if somebody could write me something to talk about, please send it to what's wrong at ornyadams.com. I'd appreciate it. This is how exhausted I am with my head and everything. Two stories. And then, I'm going to wrap this up. I'm not going to make this too long. I'm in Plano, Texas this weekend at Mic Drop Comedy. And then next week I'm in the San Diego area. I don't have the name of the venue in my head right now, but ornyadams.com/tour for all the information. And I hope you're there. And I appreciate everyone that buys tickets and everyone who's been so supportive of my special and buying a ticket or doing, giving money towards production on the Eventbrite ticket link or on, what is it, GoFundMe? All the links are up on my Instagram or ornyadams.com. There's a QR code where you can scan and go to the Eventbrite or the GoFundMe. And I thank you because I've never been more lacking sleep and clear-headed and just making decisions. Like after this, I've got to send in the final design for T-shirts for the security team at the special. I'm designing those too. I'm involved in every aspect. And I have I have some help, but a lot of it's coming to me. And I'm making final decisions on everything because I'm paying for it, minus your generous contributions, which I really appreciate. What guy on phone benefit? What could a guy on phone benefit? I wonder if one of those. Oh, I did a benefit recently. And I want to say this. Now I'm fired up. I was supposed to be in Las Vegas. I was in Las Vegas last weekend. I was supposed to be there the weekend before. I got a call to do a benefit. Now, when I say benefit, some benefits pay me really well. Some benefits pay me good. This paid me, but not as much as I was making in Vegas. So they said, listen, you're the only comic that we've had on several times. Everybody loves you. I'm like, is there more money in the budget? And I know it's weird to be asking for more money on a benefit, but sometimes one individual donates the stipend for the act, for the comedian or the performer or whatever. So I said, let me do this. I called the Kim Mills Comedy Club and I said, hey, who's got the following weekend? Because I have that open. Maybe I can switch. They said, Rich Voss. I said, okay, great. I text Rich. Rich is an old friend, funny comedian, nice guy. We used to walk around New York City. We used to go shopping for clothes. We were both very ahead of the times, metrosexual. I call Rich. Rich says, give me a day, gets back to me. I can do it. Now I've got to call Kimmel's Comedy Club. And have them redo the contracts and change the dates. So it's a lot of work for everybody. And I had already booked my flight for that, for the weekend, the first weekend, the weekend of the benefit. So now I am getting ready for the benefit. I've got a car picking me up, taking me to a location, a golf club in Southern California. And they want me to be picked up early because of traffic. And, I'm sort of in my head, what am I going to do? Where's my outfit? I'm ironing. I'm just sort of waiting to walk the plank to my death. And I get a ding, 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 ding on my iPhone. Ding, 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 ding. You have an alert. Says you're supposed to be on a flight right now. Do you want me to put you in airplane mode? I said, flight right now? I go, what flight? I look at my calendar. It says Southwest. I'm like, wait a minute. Am I supposed to be in Vegas this weekend? Did I forget to change Vegas? So I'm in panic. What? Wait a minute. Did I not change the flight? I need a flight for next weekend. It should have been changed. Did I forget because I'm concerned about the color of my shoelaces in the special? Because I'm designing T-shirts for the security guards? Because I'm worried about which stool, 3 different mic stands, 15 different tops, and I'm concerned about the camera lenses and the lighting crew that I'm directing? Is it possible that I forgot for the first time in my life to change the flight? So I go on Southwest.com. Sure enough, it's 1:10. The flight left at 1:05. So now I lose that money. Put that in the balance books for how much I'm spending on the special. And so, but I'm like, wait a minute. Am I supposed to be in Vegas too? Like I was like, what is going on? My head was just shook. So I go on Jimmy Kimmel Comedy Club website, and sure enough, I'm supposed to be there the following weekend. So that's right. The only thing I didn't do was not change my Southwest flight. So now I go on the Southwest app. You're not going to believe this. Orny Adams never gets this kind of luck. The flight's delayed an hour. Because it's delayed an hour, I can get a refund, not a Southwest credit. They will refund me for the full credit. So now I have to cancel the return too. They put it right back on my credit card. I thought, I'm never this lucky. This is insanity. This is pure joy. Oh, wait. Is there anything as 100% victory? Not in Orny Adams' lifetime. The thunder clouds are looming. It's looming. Something bad's gonna happen, right? So I get to the gig, and understand this is a benefit. People like Jay Leno have donated tours of his parking garage. Be great if it was a park. It actually is parking garage with all great cars. He donated tours of his garage where his great cars are. And they raised a good amount of money. I get up there. Now, nobody told me it was going to be outdoors. The last two times I did, it was inside. So now it's outdoors, which is impossible because your voice just goes up. It goes to the sides. You can't hear the laughter. The lighting was too harsh. I couldn't see them. The only thing I could see was there was a guy in the front row on his phone the whole time. Right from the second I got up there, it was lit up on the table, and he's sort of typing while the phone is on the table, and that's all I can see. And I said, "Sir, do you mind putting your phone away? Do you mind?" Then I did some jokes about people always being on the phone. He's still on the phone. I said, "Hey, buddy, come on, let's." And then he did this. He did the backwards hand, like, carry on, help, carry on. And I did everything to not snap on that guy. I was so proud of myself. And then at one point, one of the servers dropped a tray or something. It was a loud clank. I could hear music coming from another part of the golf club, like a live band. I'm like, oh my God, there's like music. And the people dropping stuff. And then somebody yells out, and the guy on his phone. And I said, fuck him. And I didn't mean, like, it just came out like a kid. And I shouldn't have done that at a benefit, but you know what? Fuck him. It's so disrespectful. If you need to be on your phone, listen to me. Get up and leave the show. I don't need you sitting there. I don't need you trying to undermine me and my credibility and my confidence by being on the phone, okay? I'm talking about you. Get up and leave. And I can only hope somebody is that disrespectful to you or somebody you love. I hope that comes back to you, because I'm a guy who's going back and paying for the chicken salad that he walked out without paying and couldn't gotten away with it. I'm that guy. I'm putting extra money in the meters because I want other people to feel what I felt when money was tight. Sick of shitty behavior. That's the world we live in. This guy McElroy, whatever that golfer, was heckled so bad here when they did a golf tournament over the weekend. Somebody threw a drink at his wife's hat. She's crying. Hey, stop being disgusting, people. Start acting like humans again. And if we have people in power that are acting grotesque, doesn't mean you have to. Doesn't mean it's excusable. But that guy on the phone, that's a horrible person. And if I was in a show and somebody pointed out my bad behavior, I would be embarrassed. But no humility, nothing. Because we live in a time where bad behavior is accepted, excused, rewarded on videos, on social media. We're in a bad place, people. And I'm tired of it. And you know what else I was thinking on the phone? Not on the phone. On the ride home. On the stage, when I was on stage, I'm thinking, I can't believe I went through what I went through to do this gig for you guys. By the way, it turned out it was somebody that was on the board for the charity. And I hope they came down on him. But it doesn't matter. You know, I grew up in a time when honking worked. You used to honk and people, oh, sorry, I didn't mean it. And they reform their behavior. Now, they'll get out of the car and shoot you. This was deplorable. And if the guy had an emergency, which sometimes that happens, people get an emergency, excuse yourself. get up and leave the show. I'd rather you leave the show than sit. It was on the entire show. I was up there for 45, 50 minutes. I'm also thinking, it's a hell of a battery this guy's got on this phone. We need to start correcting this behavior. It's the Malcolm Gladwell fix the broken windows theory. You fix the broken windows in a neighborhood, people act better. It's lawlessness. And the inhumanity and the disrespect and the way people treated that, I think it's McIlroy, right? That golfer. I don't know much about golf, but the guy's never going to golf here in the U.S. again. He'll never play a tournament here. So good job, America. And it's not just America. Good job, people. Disgusting people. Social media, if you scroll on TikTok and Instagram Reels, it is bad behavior, bad behavior, bad behavior. That's where we're at. So that, everybody, is what Guy on Phone Benefit was. I'm glad I remembered. And on top of that, on that day, before that car picked me up, I also had to do this. I had to call somebody, because I went to book a flight to get to Vegas the following weekend. It was so expensive, it's now better for me to drive. So I called one of my opening acts, and I said, hey, are you available next weekend? And that worked out. But this is all the stuff I did to move my Vegas gig. I had to deal with Rich Voss. I had to deal with Kimmel's Comedy Club. I had to, deal with all these moving parts to make it happen. And then that guy was on his phone. I mean, it just at one point do I just become selfish? That's where I'm at in life. And I'm losing my mind to the point, I'll end on this funny story, which almost wasn't so funny, but we're driving away. We're driving to Vegas, me and the opening dude. And we had just left, we were in Baker, California, and we just left this Greek restaurant that was, pretty good. And all of a sudden, we're going over this bridge. We hear, sounded like my dryer, sounded like my printer, my old printer. And he was like, what's that? I thought he lost a muffler. In the East Coast, people used to lose mufflers because of the salt from the snow. And so all of a sudden, I go, where's my phone? Okay, she said, did you leave a drink on the roof? I left my phone. I'm the idiot that left his phone. Now we're basically on an overpass going to a highway, and car after car, and I'm like, oh no, somebody's gonna hit the phone. And then in a mile a minute, you're thinking of everything you can't do with your phone. Oh, I won't be able to accept payments at the merch table tonight with my Square app. How am I going to call people? Oh my! I better go to the Apple store in Vegas. Get a new phone. Is it still under warranty? Because I pay something a month for like a warranty. You're running every. It's a Friday. Will I be able to get one on Saturday? Should I get the iPhone 17? And so the opening guy's running down the street to retrieve the phone. He's looking all over the place. Cars going by. I finally backed the car up about 150 yards, like a crazy man, because I'm like, okay, we'll call the phone. He found the phone. Phone's in perfect condition. I have a new case, everybody. Look at this. New case. Why? Because the other case got pretty much destroyed, but the iPhone lived. The screen didn't even crack. This doesn't happen to Orny Adams. You know why this happened to Orny Adams? Because he brought his chicken back, and he's paying a little extra for the meters, and he didn't snap at that guy at the benefit like he would have in the old days. He did a little later when he told him to go F himself, but that was visceral. That was out without thought. Episode 162, What's Wrong with Orny Adams? Please get tickets to my special October 18th, El Portal Theater, North Hollywood. Tickets on sale now, 6 o'clock and 9 o'clock show. Listen, I'm going to be doing an hour and a half, a 90-minute show, okay? The show itself will be 2 hours. So leave a little bit of time. Come early. There's something special we're doing in the lobby. I don't want to talk about it now, but there's something special. You can be part of the special. And if you go to my GoFundMe, you can donate and have your name under special credits. Just $250. You'll be in the credits of my special. I think that ends up on IMDb. OrnyAdams.com/tour. I'm in Plano, Texas. It might drop this weekend. Then I'm in the San Diego area. OrnyAdams.com/tour for, it's actually on the front page. All this is on the front page. The link for tickets, the Eventbrite link, the link for the GoFundMe, and the tour dates coming up, all on ornyadams.com. If you want to communicate, the email is what'swrong@ornyadams.com. I want to thank Eric Stoltz, who is doing the audio for the special and who masters this audio and who is helping me with other logistical stuff for the special. And he saved Takes the Third, saved the audio for that, and did a tremendous job with the audio for Path of Most Resistance and, of course, for Orny Adams' More Than Loud. Over 7 million views on YouTube. So to sum up, I want to thank all the Patreon people and the people that are patiently allowing me to create at the pace I can only create at right now because I'm completely overwhelmed by this special. And I hope it goes well. I'm putting so much into one night. And this week, I'm just obsessed with the ticket sales. So hopefully it works out. It's been a fun ride. And if, if people don't show up, then the special will be what it's meant to be. And I'll control what I can control, which is what happens on stage. So that's it. I'm going to go back to my broken washing machine. I don't know what I'm going to do. Strange times. It's strange. Oh, I tell you what I need, turmeric.